So you have your 3D printer and you have your model. But then you need a slicer software. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 different kind of free slicer softwares you can use at this moment. Coming up on Zachary's 3D Prints. Hello, I'm Zachary and this channel is about 3D printing with tips, tricks, tutorials, how to review news, anything 3D printing or 3D printer related you can find right here on this channel. If you're new here and not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and hit the notifications button to get the latest videos right in your YouTube alerts. And thanks for being here. So, you just started with 3D printing and you are looking for a great slicer to use. Or you are already in the 3D printing and you want to figure out which other slicer softwares you can use. Then this is the right video for you. I'm going through of the slicer softwares which are free to use or totally free. Maybe for some you have to register, but the bottom line is you don't have to pay any money for those slicers. There are slicers that you have to pay something like 130 or 140 US dollars on year base, and you have a decent program. But if you have just started with 3D printing, I guess you don't want to pay any money and just start 3D printing, right? So I'm going through some free slicers in this video. And of course, in the near future, I'm going to do more videos about those slicers as well. Well, let's get into the first slicer softwares. So the first slicer software, Cura. Cura is also in the 3D printing community a very popular slicer to use. Well, let's install this software. On the site, you are going to download it for free. You have to choose which kind of operating system you have, Windows, Mac or Linux. And then if it's prompted to get your location, then hit the OK button. So once the installation is done, on a Mac you have to drag your app into the applications folder, and for Windows you have to follow the installation instructions. For the Mac it's going to ask to, if you are going to drag the application into the applications folder and you already have a copy of Cura, you can just replace it. Every setting, every profile will stay there. Starting off Cura. So this is the build plate of Cura. Well, let's add a printer. You can choose a network printer or a standalone printer, a non-network printer. In this case, I'm going to add the Prusa i3 MK2 3D printer. It's a clone, so I will rename it in Z3DP Prusa i3 MK2. So when that is done, then we click on Add. Then you see that the building volume is enlarged, so I'm going to Manage Printer, Machine Settings, and there I change the 250 mm for 210 mm. Also the Z height is going to be changed to 180 mm. Further, check if everything is correct and then hit Save. Then close, and that is your building volume. And as you can see, also on the bottom side, there is your bed frame from the heat bed. So we are going to add a model to the build plate. So in this case, for all slicers, I'm going to use the Banshee as a little model to do. So what you can do, you can move, you can scale it, you can rotate it, you can flip it on the side. You have different kind of options how to use it. Also, if you are going to add some supports, you can also use some support blockers. Well, you have material, you have speed, you have travel, you have cooling, support, build plate adhesion, And also within Cura, you have a extra field called experimental. If you selected all of the things you might need for your slicing, then you click on slice. Once that is done, it's a 2 hour and 36 minute print in a fine profile, which means 0.1 millimeter. If you are having a SD card or a micro SD card in your laptop or in your computer, if you are pressing on save to file, it's going to say save to removable disk. So this was the Cura slicer. So the next slicer software, PrusaSlicer 2.2.0. This is also a very nice to work with slicer software. You can download it for Windows, Mac and Linux. You follow the download instructions, and when it is downloaded, just click on the box. Then we click on the box to open it and start the installation process. So we click on the icon and we drag it into the applications folder. So now it's installing and that part is done. Because I use PrusaSlicer already and there are already some of my settings in it, let's add a new printer. To add a new printer, we are going to configuration and then we click on configuration assistant. Of course, in my case, everything is in Dutch, but the process will be the same. Of course, because this is a PrusaSlicer made by Prusa Research, all of the Prusa 3D printers are listed as first. Not only the FFF or FDM 3D printers, but also the micro stereolithographic resin printer. You can also add a third-party 3D printer. In my case, you can use the Creality version. Then we are going to next. Of course, the Ender 3, because that is one of the very popular 3D printers to use. Then we get some filaments, which we can add to PrusaSlicer as well. If you don't want to select different kind of, you can always select all and then next and next and next and then complete. So this is the bed for the i3 MK2, but you can always change it into different kind of ones. So here in the printer, you can set it to the Ender 3 in this case, as you can see. Then you can change the filaments and all presets you can save into the special user presets. And then we also have the print settings, not printer settings, but print settings. So let's go to the Benchy and select that one. Open, and then the model is loaded onto the platter. As you can see, it's the bed frame from the Ender 3, and then we have some buttons on the left side. So we have move, we got scale, we can rotate, face on place, and also cut it into multiple pieces. So if you click on slice now, it's going to slice. And also when you press the right mouse button, then you have different kind of things to do with your model as well. And when it is all done, then click on export. In this case, it says export to file, but it can also be in SD card. So the next one, MatterControl from MatterHackers. I already did also a few videos of MatterControl because this slicer software is also functional as a CAD software program. Well, let's install this software. The software can be found on MatterHackers website. I will put every link in the description of this video. Well, you have for Windows, Mac or Linux. So select your operating system and wait until the download is finished. Well, if it is downloaded, you click on the button and then it's going to install, or in my case it's going to unzip and then drag and drop it into the applications. I will say replace. It will save my settings, so I won't lose anything at all. So we close the window. So if you open MatterControl, this is a software where you can register. So be aware when you are going to start with it, make sure that you add an account by Matter Hackers. So after you've done that, then we can add a printer. When you add a printer, you go to the left side, you click on the plus sign, and you are going to add a printer. You got different kind of printers already there, so you are going to select it. In my case, I selected Prusa Research, the i3MK2. So I will rename this into Z3DP Prusa i3MK2. And then we click Next. So here it is going to ask me to attach the printer to the laptop, but I don't need to do that. I click on Skip Connection Setup. So, and then we are going to make some changes. Printer, and then we have some printer settings, and then by the bed we select the 250, we change into 210. Also the build height is going to be changed to 180, and then the extruder, and I see that I also need to do the print center, changing it into 105 to have the midpoint of the build plate, something like that. And then features, here you can also see some other things that you might need, but like I mentioned, I'm going into more depth in the future videos about those slicer softwares. Here you can also see some other advanced settings. But because you already selected a printer manufacturer and the model, it is already pre-selected. In my case, I just make some little changes to make sure that it's not going to get any problems. So let's add a model to the build plate and let's see what is going to happen. So here the model is put on the build plate, and as you can see, it's a little bit off. You can always change that in the future. So if you don't like it, you can always change it, right? So the quality is on standard, and I'm going to select PLA. Here you have the layer height, the general settings, layer thickness, triangles, and infill, and also speed. You can change some speed, also the cooling, bed adhesion, skirt, raft or brim, and you can switch it on or off. So in this case, skirt was selected, you can switch it off and you have no bed adhesion at all. But if you just started with 3D printing, I would suggest starting with some bed adhesion to make sure that your print is not going to move to any place at all. And then some other advanced settings like that. Now we press on slice. When you are going to, when it is sliced, loading G-code, and there it is already done. And as you can see, you can use the scroll to scroll on to the top, and then you see your model right there. When you click on details, you will see everything you want to know, how long it is going to take, how much filament it is going to use, and so on. Let's continue with the next one. And then the next one, IdeaMaker from Race 3D. This is a free slicer software, and when you are going to install it, click on the free download. We have for Windows, Mac or Linux to use. Okay, and then we are going to do the installation, and just like the other one, just drag the application into the application folder to install the software. So when you open IdeaMaker, then you get a select default printer message, a configuration wizard. Well, you have different kind of printers, of course, from Raise 3D, but we are going to select a default printer, a third-party printer. I named this one Creality Ender 3. Check the nozzle diameter, in this case is 0.4. Then the building width and the building depth, we are going to change it into 220. And also for the build height, we are going to add 250 instead of the 305. Use heat bed, enable fan speed control, that we leave on. Distance from border to build plate, I will leave it on 2.5. It's a rectangle and the firmware is Marlin. We are going to select Raise 3D PLA 1.75 millimeters because there is nothing else that I can select which is coming close in what I'm using. The gantry height, I don't know if I need to select that yes or no. I leave it as it is. Then we also have advanced. You can always make some changes here as well. And then the printer primary extruder, it's also nice. We click on OK. Continue. Use heat bed, one extruder, that's okay. Continue. Continue. And we are almost done. That is a startup screen from IdeaMaker. You can do many things in here, but we leave that for another video. And this is your build plate or your platter. We are going to add a model. You can also use the plus button. I'm being asked in a dialog if I want to give some access to my folders. Very secure as well. Also here, I need to press OK. I got this message several times, so I need to make sure that I press every time on OK. And there the Banshee is right onto the build plate. So you'll also have here some things you can pan, you can zoom, you can rotate, you can scale, you can cut it just like PrusaSlicer can do. You can add supports, can make duplications, the rotate function. And then when it is all done, you click on Start Slicing. And there, for IdeaMaker, you have to create a template for the slicing. So we create one. We are going to call it Simple PLA 1.75 or PLA 1. And then OK, skirt only. And as you can see, I've got one there, and we press on Slice. You get a little dialog with there the settings from everything. Also here you can select how you want to upload this file. So if you have an Ender 3 Pro or a different kind of other Creality 3D printer, then you can use the slicer from Creality as well, if you have a Windows computer. In my case, in preparation of this video, I wanted to install it on my Mac, but Creality states that it is for Windows. If I have a Mac, I need to go to Cura and download a Cura slicer. With that, you can see that Creality used Cura as a slicer, but then adapted to the specific Creality 3D printers. So I cannot do anything at this moment to show how this slicer software works, but if you have a Creality 3D printer, feel free to go to the website and download the slicer there. If you have a Mac or a other laptop or a other operating system, then you can use Cura as well. Let's get to the special topic in this video. So 2 weeks ago I did a special video for reaching the 1000 subscriber milestone, and now I'm going to reveal the winners of the giveaway. I did say that you have to be subscribed and that you also write in the comments I'm subscribed or I'm subscribed or subscribed. Something like that. And I've got 2 winners. The first winner is David T. He is the winner of the 3D printing pen. So there you go, buddy. And the second winner for the BL Touch with an extension cord of end clamps, the winner is Nate Big. So congratulations on the winnings. Please contact me in the DM on Twitter or put in the comments and I will give some details how to contact me. Next time I will do a giveaway when I reach the 5000 subscriber milestone, and I will do a little bit different kind of giveaway then. So stay tuned and keep watching. This video is supported by these Patreon supporters, Tony and Shannon. Thank you for your support. You can also join by supporting this channel. Check the link in the description of this video. So to wrap up this video, there are many slicers which you can use as a beginner. The most common ones that are used and very popular are PrusaSlicer and PrusaSlicer. Of course, you can also use MatterControl or IdeaMaker. In the near future, I'm going through the slicers in more depth, how-tos and tutorials and some little tips and tricks. But then starting just with something like Cura or Prusa. If you made it this far in this video, thank you, you are amazing. On the end card, there are some recommended videos worth watching. And you can also support this channel by clicking on the merch button. Thank you. Please like this video, share this video with other people, and I will see you next time. And hey, let's make some fun with 3D printing. Zachary 3D Prints. Bye bye.